super secret location deep within the mountains of Colorado, it's time to strap up, strap in, or strap on with your host, Shenanigans in One Shot. It's From the Ashes Radio!
Yeah, if you just like stuck up a little like hair in the back, you'd look like Alfalfa from the Little Rascals right now.
If I didn't have cauliflower, I'd have the ears.
Darla,
Good evening, folks. Welcome to From the Ashes radio show on About Face Media. I am your host, One Shot Seth, with my other host here, Robert Shenanigans Williams. How are you this evening?
Better now that I'm here with you, guy.
I know, right? Having a lot of fun.
So, like the shoes, man.
Okay. I know. We've been talking about this, but no joke. Those of you watching by video, I actually have spurs for my Crocs. It's a real thing. And what's really cool is they make that great sound. You know,
they do. They clink as you walk, which is just cracking me up to no end.
I know. Oh, you know where I am at all times.
But yeah, you're not sneaking up.
It's almost like the leash that the wife has on me. Similar.
And I believe, speaking of which, she is participating in the show this evening. Craig Stakowitz is here. Nathan Hucker, what's up? What's up, Nathan Hucker? Good to have you. So yeah, hell of a week, huh?
Oh fuck! This week was nuts.
It was bananas.
It was B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Yes,
This
exactly.
shit is bananas.
I believe Gwen Stefani said it best. She did. In fact. Yes, it's been crazy. I took was it last week or this week that I took my final for yoga? My final practice.
So
I can't believe that.
Official yogi.
Yeah,
and is that the correct term? That is the correct term, right?
I don't know the answer to that. So I believe.
What the fuck course did you go to? You don't even know what you are?
Well, I don't want to
How do you identify?
overname myself.
How do you identify?
I mean, a fat bald guy who likes to do yoga. Other than that, that's it. I believe the term that anyone that does yoga is called a yogi.
Oh, you just have to do it. You don't have to teach it?
Correct.
So I'm a yogi.
Correct.
That's stupid. I do yogi. I do yoga, and I am not a yogi.
I disagree. In fact, you are. If you've even watched it online once or twice, you are. And as a matter of fact, I was there when you did yoga nidra. You are, in fact, a yogi.
I worked really hard for a long time. You know what I found very challenging about yoga? Is like when you first start, like you don't know what the fuck they're doing, and half the time you're looking at the floor, and like they say it pose, and everybody goes to it. I don't know what the fuck downward dog is when I did one. Now I do. I mean, I did, but I just didn't know what it was for yoga. You know, I also wasn't familiar with the position personally.
So we're supposed to have been learning like the Sanskrit, like 7,000-year-old language words for all these poses over the last. I've learned one. Shavasana, and that's when you're laying flat on your back. And other than that, I don't know any other. So I make them up.
Really?
To see if like anybody in the room knows. The only one that knows so far is Tressa. She's the only one that's ever caught me.
I think she's done a lot.
She's done a lot of yoga.
Yeah.
So yeah. Holy heck! Look who's in the green room. Brandi's in the green room. Yes, it's gonna be a good show, folks. So for tonight we have Skyhunters on. We're also going to talk to Michael. Mike from Connor's Canines is also in the green room. We're just stacking them up.
Skyhunters have anything to do with the Space Force? I'm just curious because I don't know.
You're going to have to ask her.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Everybody stay on the edge of your seats. This might be.
Yeah. She doesn't come on for another 10 minutes, folks. We still got to get through Carl. But.
They're like the special ops
of
Space Force. That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah. Skyhunters, the special operations of our United States Space Force. That only makes perfect sense. Or unless you're a raging hippie and it has something to do with all the drugs we did in high school. But, you know.
I am not a damn hippie. So that's your.
You know, and that was the other thing is that my friends, they're like, Rob, you kind of have to admit you're one of us now. And I'm like, no, I absolutely do not have to admit I am not a hippie. It's not happening.
Yeah, I think I told you, because I have done yoga for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Not consistently and not a lot, but I have done yoga for a while. I did tell you the story of me passing out in yoga, right?
No, I thought you just said you threw up. Been like yoga or something like that.
Throw up. So I've been using yoga a lot for my metabolism and leaning out for a fight. And so a few days out, I'm weighing in and I decided to hit my usual under stuff for yoga, which is just, my rash guard.
Yeah.
Spats, some fight shorts, looking like everybody else in the room. I decided to wear that normal stuff, and then I put sweatpants and a hoodie on over. I mean, I even threw the hood up. And I remember doing warrior pose, and then I remember looking up to all these yoga, mostly girls, like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And like stripping my hoodie off and sweatpants, like, "Oh my god, this is hot yoga. You can't do that. Oh, you're overheated." And I'm like, "Yeah, and I'm running."
I've come close a few times,
Really?
like doing forward folds, and then you stand up real fast, and I'm like, "Whoa!" But I have not passed out yet. But I feel like it's coming. I tend to overdo it because that's just what we do is overdo it. And yeah, I feel like it's coming.
But
I've done hot yoga once.
Look, overdoing it leads to great stories.
It does. Nobody has ever told a story. So there I was in the center lane doing the speed limit. No good story ever starts that way.
Yes.
But yeah. So yeah, I'm looking for. I have my final presentation to do on Saturday, and then they hand me a graduation certificate. And my final presentation is on yoga for combat athletes.
Nice.
So boxers, jiu-jitsu fighters, Muay Thai fighters, all that stuff.
Also, this amazing yoga instructor who I've hired for my academy will actually be a certified one then, rather than just some guy
feeling his way along.
Eat what you kill shirt on.
What? Look, man, it's gotten me through. It gets us through. All right, so there was so many great Carls this week that I've sent you a few of them. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. I must have set them on the no, there's the skateboard deck. My favorite one so far has been this one.
Oh.
No.
Go ahead. No, you should. Let's do that. Let's do that one.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
Folks,
so
we are not a political show. We do not express any of our own opinions, disclaimers. We don't give a shit.
But I think we can all agree
we're going to give a whole lot of unsolicited opinions.
The Navy's gay,
and
I mean,
and West Pointers aren't far away.
Agreed. If you're a ring knocker. So for those that didn't, I spend all of the time in our jiu-jitsu group chat making fun of my Navy friends and calling them gay. And usually there's nothing to come back with because I was in the Army. They just call me fat. Yeah, I'm fat, but you suck dick, whatever. The Navy decided Navy approaches drag queen influencer to help persuade Gen Z to join the military. What? And then if we go back to our favorite chat, let's see right here. Yeah. And then of course, my buddy Chris Carter from the Navy sends me, the Army now has a trans recruiter as well. So there we are. Really don't have too many defenses for it, but yeah.
No.
And I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do. Do your own thing. What you do in your bedroom is between you and whoever else is watching or paying $1.50 extra
in the sheets.
Yeah,
whatever.
Or wherever else you choose to do it.
Here's always been my problem with I don't want to say diversification, but allowing. I only care about your combat readiness.
Agreed. Exactly.
That is it. I only care about your ability to bring more strength to your unit and not make it weaker. Okay.
Whether you realize it or
go
not,
as far
we
as,
served with
here we go.
Gay folks, trans folks. We served with them. Yeah. Absolutely did. It wasn't our problem at the time. Now it's being rammed down our throat.
Right.
But yeah, I agree. If they can fight or peel people off the battlefield.
Just because I want to piss some people off,
let's hear it.
And make them so it's understands it's not just trans, but I don't like women in combat.
Ooh,
I know it's rough, isn't it?
Wow, dude.
I know that was a rough one. Do you know why?
Tell me.
Have you ever been in a combat zone when a woman shows up and see what happens to the unit?
Well, I have a different perspective because
I'm not saying
coming as a medic, where we have nothing but we have lots of females. Some of the best women, plus soldiers I worked with, were women.
So here's my.
I wasn't infantry,
right? And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying a combat medic. I'm saying in the fucking infantry, kicking goddamn doors. Because here's what happens. We end up with pregnancies. You're now not only are you not adding strength to your unit, you're weakening your unit. I don't give a shit. Okay. When your wife's pregnant, you still fucking deploy. Doesn't matter. When you're pregnant, you don't deploy. That is a weaker soldier. It's not weak strength. It's weakness in the capabilities of the unit because they don't have a soldier. Okay. Then all of a sudden we have, I literally was deployed for, one long deployment. The entire deployment only saw one female to fire base I mainly operated at. And gang banged, knocked up, STDs started getting passed around. Was she infantry? And she came out to purify her water, and within like weeks, it was a fucking shit show. Okay. And then and also when I was back in the major airfield, my buddies had been back there for med for a while. All of a sudden they had knocked something up and caught an STD. And I'm like, Jesus, what the fuck? But I think
it's like soldiers don't understand what condoms are.
And then also what if you get your time of the month and you're in the field for 2 weeks? They have to bring them back in. So you are not combat effective. It has nothing to do with physical capabilities or I don't like women or anything fucking like that. It's because when you really get down to brass tacks, it has to do with being able to do the fucking job every fucking day. And adding women takes that away. Adding fucking mental health crisis individuals is in the way of strengthening your unit. So now I just pissed off all sorts of people.
Yeah, 50% of the people. Let's see what the comments have to say.
Did we go up in views or did we go down?
Love the stand, Dustin Villers. So our medevac medic, long blonde hair. All the people were excited when we dropped a 9 line. Ram down your throat, so to speak, the swearing in podcast. Well, thanks, Martin. Appreciate that. That's what you caught out of that whole conversation. That's what you caught.
It's because I caught it too, and I didn't say something. Somebody's like, okay.
So when the first few females passed Ranger School, it was a huge deal.
Yeah, because it was they got special privileges.
And so that was the conversation that they were having on some radio station, something like that. I forget which it was. And I called in because I was super bent out of shape. Not that the women had passed Ranger School. It was bound to happen at some point. Not that they, lowered standards, raised standards, kept the same. Not that. The fact that they were questioning the integrity of those Ranger cadre is what pissed me off. That pissed me off to no end whatsoever. That is a job, your job, where your words must be the truth at all times because there is a battalion of people counting on your integrity. And for them to question those individuals really got my hat.
I never questioned those individuals because before I did, I knew there was going to be some bullshit. And the people that were involved, the type of people that would be my people, boots on ground, would have nothing to fucking do with it. And so I talked to a couple of RIs. And in this conversation, they thought when I said they got special privileges that I was offending them by saying they didn't hold the standard.
That's my perspective.
And I said, hey, my opinion is based on fact, and it has nothing to do with you guys. And the first women that went through spent an entire fucking year being groomed for Ranger School. Do you know that?
I went to RIP and didn't pass, so I can't say shit, dude.
So they spent an entire year practicing the land nav course, practicing their fucking riding an op.
They set them up for success.
Yes, they spent an entire year. Now, has any of the men ever been given that?
No.
Then they got special fucking privilege. I don't give a fuck. That is exactly what it is by definition. So if you can't fucking do the goddamn job the same way everybody else does, you're weakening your unit. You're not strengthening your unit. That's it. But I have nothing against the RIs.
Well, that was...
And as soon as I said that in this conversation with 2 of them that were there for the first rotation, they were like, oh, you're not attacking us. I'm like, no, not at all. I just said that they should go through the same way as everybody else.
And that is exactly the way I
And that's all I am about in life.
The conversation.
Yeah.
You're...
And I know tons of women that could totally rock Ranger School way better than a bunch of dudes.
Some of the people that I worked with...
I'm not saying that.
Especially when I was my short time at JSOC, the females that I worked with were way more badass than some of the guys that I got the chance to work with. 1 year of pre-Ranger. Wow. Paula Shaw is watching. Michael Connor. One shot speaking fact. Skyhunters and Semper Fly helicopters. Oh, I have the name wrong. Skyhunter and Semper Fly. Oh, she's a female Marine. We should bring her on to participate in this conversation. I would like to get her perspective on this.
I'm going to get roasted, but it's okay.
That's what we're here for.
I know.
Should we bring her on?
Yeah, and I promise I won't make fun of her for being in the Navy.
All right, let's see what she's got to say. I'll bet she's heard this once or twice before. Brandi Rector, how the heck are you? Can you hear us? We cannot hear you, boss. Oh, you're muted. Unmute your mic.
Oh, how about now?
Now I can hear you. Did you hear that whole conversation from the green room?
A little bit. It was kind of glitchy, and I think it's because I was trying to pull up Facebook at the same time, and it was causing it to glitch. So, I mean,
Were we coming in broken and stupid?
reiterate.
Reiterate. Women in combat, an additive, a plus, a combat multiplier, or a combat detractor.
Oh God.
Oh, that's not the response I expected.
I think it depends on what role in combat. So I was air crew. So I was a gunner, a helicopter gunner, and a mechanic on the CH-53 Echo. So, I mean, you have the aviation side and then the ground side. I gotta be honest. I know the Marine Corps has a Lioness program that's all female Marines on the ground, which I think is a good unit. And you have your females. I do know and I do understand how it can be like a distraction, and it can cause probably more problems than it does good. Like I'm not going to be popular with some females with what I say, but I think there's a place for them in combat. And it's not that I don't think that we can't do anything that the guys can do it, but I think that it causes a lot of distractions. And, you know, my brother was a Ranger, a 2nd Ranger Regiment and airborne, and my dad was 82nd Airborne in Vietnam. And I was raised with the guys, you know, that yes, women can do it, but I think that a guy's instinct to protect a woman would get in the way. It would cause some problems, I think, on the front lines. But throw me in an aircraft and we'll shoot 50 cows at them all day. I mean, but
you said all other points. I have to say I 100% agree with you. A bunch of the points you made are just more points from what I was saying earlier. I add all those. I totally agree. Depends on the role. I'm not saying women shouldn't go downrange. That's fucking stupid.
One of the greatest flight instructors I had, Sergeant Cynthia Randolph, put me in my place hard when I was learning hoist operations. And yeah, so I get where you're coming from. And aviation is a whole different element of the United States military.
it is, yeah.
All right. Well, that being said, and now that I've got my ass kicked from our listening crew, that's the question you open your guest with. Yes, that's what we were talking about when she came on. So yes,
I'm ready now. I wasn't ready. Listening.
We're not a political or social.
Correct.
You know, tell us about Skyhunter and
Skyhunter and Semper Fly helicopters.
Okay, so Skyhunter, we do helicopter hog hunts out of a 206 Long Ranger, a Bell 206 Long Ranger. So we take people out and we go kill pigs and coyotes to help the landowners and farmers that are having problems with the pigs. The best way and the quickest way to get rid of as many as possible is to shoot them from the helicopter. So I try to help out there. We do that in Oklahoma along the Texas-Oklahoma border. So I'm one of the pilots, and then I have another female Black Hawk pilot that flies for me, Casey, and she's really good. And then I have another female pilot I just hired that I'm working with, and she's going to be good. She does more tour stuff right now because so Semper Fly, we do tours of Broken Bow Lake and the surrounding area, and I'm working on getting paperwork together so I can do charters, fly people back and forth from DFW, wherever you want to fly to. And we do private events and kind of cool stuff. But we're getting ready to launch, which haven't made an official announcement yet. But
you're about to. Do we have breaking news from the
Action
Radio? That's the kind of shit. That's why our listeners come here.
It is. We're setting up to launch an aerial gun range and aerial training with the helicopters. And I'm not going to say where yet or when, but it's coming soon. Like, we're setting it up. We're getting targets together, the land. We're going to be launching that soon. So if you want some aerial training and some sniper courses and some badass weapons, we're going to have them. So I'm excited.
Sniper courses.
I know a guy.
Yeah.
He's got terrible hair, but other than that, I know a guy.
My hair's fucking great.
All right, Alfalfa.
I don't want a mullet anymore. I'm all clean cut.
Well, Brandi, let's start at the beginning. So how long were you in the Marines for?
Almost 6 years. I had a 5-year contract. I extended the contract so I could do another deployment, and I deployed one more time, and then I got out.
And where did you? So you were air crew that time while you were in, right?
Yeah. I was air crew, aerial gunner, left door gunner, whatever, and a mechanic on the CH-53 Echo.
That's a big ass helicopter. How did you end up becoming a pilot? Is that like online school or crash course? I mean, how does that work?
No. I got out and I went to St. Louis University and got my bachelor's degree in aeronautics while I went through flight training and became a CFII, so an instrument instructor. And then I did that. And then I went into Customs and Border Protection as an air enforcement agent. And then I left that. And then General Atomics, I worked there for as a sensor operator on UAVs until I got laid off because of COVID. And then we came to Texas, Skyhunter. I got a job with them, and he ended up selling me the company, and I took it over in 2021.
Well, and apparently some of our listeners have flown with you. So Casey Nelson, here's the pilot that we flew with. So some of our listeners already have flown with you, which is super badass. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
I think that's kind of cool. What do you call it? So yeah, so you bought the company. How long you been in business for now?
We bought Skyhunter in 2021, and then we started Semperfly last summer. We grand opening July 4th of last year.
Super cool. Very cool. And are they making you independently wealthy now?
Listen, aviation is hard. Helicopters are very expensive. I'm working on it. We're doing good things.
That's what I like to hear. So let's say people are listening right now and they're like, hey, well, first of all, now the coyotes and the pigs, they don't get helicopters too, do they?
No. No.
That doesn't seem fair.
But listen, I can put you on a group of 40 and I'd be surprised if you got 5. It's hard. It's not like pig. It's not like fish in a barrel and all the shit people think. It's not easy.
Make it out to be.
If you've never shot from a moving platform at a moving target, like and your adrenaline, everyone's so excited, your adrenaline starts pumping and you're trying to shoot, and like, I don't care. I try to hit them with the I like get real close with the skids. You could kick them and you're still like so excited that some people are like missing. I mean, I've had some awesome shooters in there. They're like one-shotting them and they're like dropping. I'm like, dang. But then the majority of people have never done it and they've never shot, and that might be their first time in a helicopter, and so it's not easy.
What do you shoot them with?
We have AR platform weapons. They're 5.56, but I shoot 2.23. The round's cheaper, and they're going through 30-round mags like it's going out of style. So yeah, I would do 308s, but we have 308s, but the majority, I don't think that it would be a good weapon for people to shoot. Not to mention they go through so many rounds, and it's double the cost for me to try to give them a 308, and they're missing anyway. So it's hard.
I'm sure some other people wanted to hear that part.
Yeah.
Well, to make your point, I am also an American hunter myself, here outside of the super secret location. And I don't know if you've ever heard of my hunting stories, but right now there are 2 turkeys walking around holding my arrows, waving at me with them. So yeah. As a matter of fact, we drove up on the Gator, the company Gator, to the flock of turkeys, and I shot at it and it missed. And it made fun of me. So I'm not the best shot with an arrow or a rifle. So
I'm the American hunter.
Yes, the American hunter, the great white hunter. So yeah, I have never shot a turkey. So, but I mean, hey, I'd be down with trying I've shot from a helicopter, but not at animals. I'd be down with it.
Yeah, it's super fun. Yeah. Not only just when you wax animals, but I also I'm a rancher, and I fucking hate coyotes. They're a pain in my ass. I mean,
No, man, they're really hard. Sorry, cats. They're the coyotes are tough. They're fast and they like stop on a dime and they'll turn around the other. Like pigs are like, I'm running this way and that's like that's where I'm going. And so you're chasing them. Those are easy to, you're circling, chasing them. The coyotes are, man, they're like they jut, they stop, and the helicopter. You're trying to like chase them around. You got to be a good shot for a coyote.
Well, maybe I'll just go for the ride then.
Make fun of you for
as long as you don't get sickness, we'll be good.
So we like hearing from veteran-owned businesses that are being successful. So this makes us very happy to hear. And it sounds like you have a large following because they're all tuned in right this second, which I like a lot. What do you call it? What does the future look like for Skyhunters and Semperfly helicopters?
Well, Skyhunter, I'm pretty much done with the hog hunts. I only have like one more scheduled for this year. I'm going to do a couple limited hunts in the fall. Then we start heavy in January to April. In that area is when we fly the most. That's the best time to come hunt. We're always gathering up more land. So I'm trying to get a couple 100,000 acres to go kill pigs up in Oklahoma. And then the Semperfly. So I just told you that we're launching an aerial gun range. So that's coming. And then the tours, I should have my 135 charters are going to be going by the end of the year, if not sooner. And then I'm working on some government contracts too, but that's not part of it. It's Semperfly, but it's not. But so lots of things. There's lots of things in the works. And we're starting a nonprofit we work with a lot of nonprofits right now, but Mike's starting a nonprofit for veterans with PTSD and TBIs. He spent 3 years in Walter Reed, so it's really important to him. And we donate flights. I donate hog hunts. I've donated tours to help raise money, get them auctioned off, and then I give it to. So I do so many a year to try to help out. And then when we have our nonprofit, we want to work with other nonprofits and try to do host events here at our location in Texas. And you can kind of see behind me, but we have a big hangar and we're on 100 acres. You can come out, shoot, blow up some tannerite, have some events, have live music, and auction off stuff we can do a lot of stuff here. So that's kind of what we're working on for the rest of this summer coming up. But range, like 30 days. I'm trying to launch this in 30 days, so we'll see.
Well, you're about to have 6 more customers because that's our entire listener base. So yeah, all 6 of our listeners, including my mother, will probably be calling you and be like, I want to do that too.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun.
I know. This is the first time we've had a guest on, and he's like, I want to do that.
I want to do that. Yeah. You're speaking all the terms that I speak.
As soon as you said tannerite, it's his favorite cologne. So
I like to be so close to it that you do smell it on you after.
Yeah, like shakes your body when you shoot it.
To that, yeah.
We had some customers that really wanted. I know this is probably bad if I get in trouble for this, but they were like, we have to blow up a pig, and I'm like, what? And so they bought like 40 pounds of tannerite and put it in a bucket and then put a big pig on top of it that they had killed and made this big pile. And then we shot it from it like reverberated so bad. Sorry. That
I hope that's the guard cat.
Yeah, very big guard cat. It reverberated so bad, like you could feel it all the way up at the hangar when it exploded, like parts of it was terrible. But yeah, tannerite. I have a bunch. I went to SHOT Show, and whenever you go to SHOT Show, they give you like a really good discount. And so I order a shit ton while I'm there. And so then I have it throughout the year when people want to blow stuff up.
Well, we were overrun here at the super secret location once by attacking hordes of pumpkins. And who knew that pumpkins were loaded down with tannerite? We had no idea. So yeah, we were covered in pumpkin guts after the battle. It was a good time.
Oh, that sounds intense.
It was in self-defense.
Yeah, it was close, though. It was touch and go a few times, so they almost got us. But, hey, Brandi, check it out. So I only got you through it for another minute or two. Check it out. The veteran world is listening to you right now, and that means both people. So you have the rapt attention of the whole world. I may have missed a question. We may have skipped over something that you wanted to talk about. We may have completely glossed over something. Whatever it is, The next 2 minutes are all yours, uninterrupted. Talk about whatever you want to the veteran population.
No pressure.
No pressure at all.
I know, gosh, and then you put me on the side. I felt like I was on a roll earlier, and now I'm like, man, I don't know. If you want the flying, I mean, I probably forgot to mention that I'm working on a flight school too, but that's in the future. But if you want to go tours or shoot some stuff or hog hunt, we're in Northeast Texas. That's important. We're up here, but we operate out of, if you guys look up Broken Bow, Oklahoma, there's a lot of stuff to do there if you guys want to travel and get out and do some fun stuff. And I mean, I'm always looking to help people out. So call me, message me. And if you're like, I just want to come hang out, or do you donate any flights? I will. And I'll help you out if you want to just get in a helicopter or whatever. And we're all veteran friendly, and we give veteran discounts too. And I want to help out. So if you guys want to come fly with me, come fly with us. I'm racking up some good female pilots. We're only 1% of the population of helicopter pilots are females. So, and I have 3. So I'm like, I'm doing good.
Comfortable them flying the whirly birds. Can you give us all your handles for social media and your website and all your fun connect information for us and our listeners? What we need?
Yeah. Skyhunters is sky-hunters.com or at Skyhunter Outfitters.
Right now. Look, he's on the air live. That means like Skyhunters.
And so at Skyhunter Outfitters is Instagram, and I do have TikTok. I think it's at Skyhunter. Anyways, I'm sure you can find it. I'll post it on Facebook. And then Semperfly is semperflyhelicopters.com, at Semperfly Helicopters. And I have them across the board. All my social media, I focus a lot on Facebook, but I'm across the board on them. But I'll post some stuff. Sometimes, some months I'll give away stuff. Some I'll give away. If you come to Broken Bow Memorial Day weekend, we're going to be giving away a bunch of stuff for the tours and give away some gifts and have some gift stuff going on. And 4th of July, I'll do that too. So if you want to come visit and say hi and get some swag, let me know. But yeah.
Well, Lori, one of our favorite listeners right now, Dana Miller, is listening to the show. She and I go back and forth constantly. I have always wanted to get Tourette's.
Oh, you don't say.
Is there a disease that you've always wanted to have?
Wow. What a crazy question. Oh man.
How much
that's not something I've sit around and thought. Like, man, I really wish.
How much fun would it be to have Tourette's, or even just tell people you had Tourette's? You don't have to really have it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess not. Gosh, that's a tough one. I can't even answer that. Is there one that like I want that one.
I don't think that I could think of any disease besides elephantitis of the cock.
See, there you go. See, he gets it. What's your problem?
Or Tourette's.
Tourette's would be super cool to have. I fucking love you. Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. All right, Brandi, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with Brandi with Skyhunters and Semperfly Helicopters. You have got to go on their social media and check them out. Super badass. If you're in the Texas area, if you're anywhere near Oklahoma, why the hell would you be anywhere near Oklahoma? Go and check out Skyhunters, skyhunters.com. And nothing but good things. Brandi, I can't thank you enough for being a part of From the Ashes on About Face Media.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Have a great rest of your night.
You too.
That was fun.
That was it. See, every once in a while we do okay.
I know.
I think it was kind of super cool that the conversation we were having kind of fit in with our guest. That makes me super happy. So, and she was able to give a perspective. I like that.
Yeah. I like yours too.
And I agree completely.
And I like to hear people's that I don't agree with too.
I do too.
My vagina does not get upset when I hear something that I don't agree with.
I get bored
with people
talking
who just
agree with you. Yeah, you have the same opinions on everything.
God, I hate that shit.
Yeah. I get it. But, sorry. All right, so we have options here. My humble suggestion. Well, first of all, do you need a break? Is it time for a potty break?
Whenever I take a potty break, I'll jump up real quick. I think we should roll.
Okay, cool.
Since we got full, and I'll
We
take
do.
a potty break whenever I need to jump up.
So Oconell West has a new lawyer.
I heard this rumor.
You did. And she jumped at the opportunity to be a part of the show. And
she
so
jumped at it?
Jumped is a strong, she may have, her feet came off the ground.
Or Doug was like, hey,
It's probably more like Doug's like, hey, guess what you're doing?
Listen here, FNG. This is what you're doing on Monday night.
That's probably closer to accurate. But in my head, that means she jumped at the chance.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah. But, apparently they've got some great news for us. So, yeah, Let's bring them in. So, Lori, you ready? You feeling good?
I'm feeling great.
And you look good, too. And that's the important part.
Good evening, guys.
Welcome to From the Ashes on About Face Media. How the heck are you?
Well, it's going to be really hard to follow up Brandi. She was a pretty exciting guest, and I haven't been in a helicopter before. I have been hog hunting, but combining the two sounds pretty spectacular.
Well, you're in Texas, aren't you? Isn't it like
I am.
Almost like religion down there where you have to go hunt hogs?
Hunting hogs is great, and you take the scent so they can't smell you, and you dress in fun clothes, and I'm all about it.
Really? I have never done this, so I'm going to have to just take your word for it, but okay. What do you call it? First of all, welcome to From the Ashes.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a story. Are you a veteran yourself?
I am not a veteran, but I am learning all the acronyms that are very important to understand.
So far?
One that really was confusing to me was when I got a text Warno. I thought that was a new client name, and I had no idea that wasn't a person. So it took me a while to figure out that Warno was not a person.
Tell Mr. Warno that my calendar is open at 9 a.m.
Yes. What time are we meeting with Mr. Warno? What did he do? Why is he in jail?
I'm feeling like Doug and Rich and all them had a really good time at that.
Yeah, they laugh, but then when I pipe them back to them via text or whatever, I think they're kind of shocked. So I'm just trying to absorb as much as possible. It's all fun.
Well, if it makes you feel better, even our listeners are saying, hey, I need a list of all the military acronyms. If you were to write that, it would exceed the volumes of the Encyclopedia Britannica because we have a tendency to make them up as we go.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I enjoy it, and it does make the text less texting. It cuts right to the point.
So, is it Lori, right? Lori, I don't want to miss.
Yes, it's Lori. Yes.
Cool. Law school. Where'd you go to law school?
I went to Baylor Law School, but I don't want anyone to hold that against me. I just went there to learn to be a trial lawyer. I went to Vanderbilt undergrad and Baylor Law School, but I'm originally from Houston. Doug's wife, Ann Oconell, was my first boss as an attorney. And so that is kind of how I got to know Doug. I don't know if your listeners know that Doug has a really badass wife who was a great trial lawyer and a great mentor of mine. So I actually knew his wife before I knew him.
Well, Doug and I served together, so I know that Doug is also a badass. And I was assumed that you had lost a bet, and that is how you ended up working at Oconell West Law.
I left the prosecutor's office after a decade or two, and Doug's got a pretty fabulous reputation. So when he had an open office, I jumped at the chance to just sit in his presence.
Doug Oconell has a good reputation? Are we talking about the same guy? You're on From the Ashes radio, right? All right. Sure. All right. Anyway, so tell us all about what's going on at Oconell West. You guys have all kinds of stuff. You're getting all kinds of busy with trials.
Very busy with trials.
Tell us about the stuff you're working on right now.
So Doug is wrapping up the Perry case, and that is the Fort Hood soldier who shot a Black Lives Matter rioter. He was driving Uber, and he turned the corner, and a rioter ended up pointing an AK-47 at Sergeant Perry, and Sergeant Perry shot and killed the Black Lives Matter rioter. And the sentencing on that case is on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So Doug is very busy getting ready for that sentencing tomorrow. In terms of exciting news, we have a new website, oconellwest.com, with the new lawyers are pictured, and we're all together. And so you can see us there.
We will absolutely make that our cover page here on About Face Radio. That's not going to happen.
Very professional shots. You may want to reconsider that. We went to a photo studio and had a real photographer and had a good time.
I like the way she says that we had a real photographer. It was not someone with like an iPhone like we do.
No, there was no. She was a real photographer. We shelled out. Doug shelled out the big bucks. Rented a place. Did it.
Are you allowed to talk about what's going to happen with this guy? What are you seeing as far as sentencing go?
I hope he gets 1 day, or he gets the governor may pardon him. So, but Doug wants to come on. I don't want to steal his thunder. He's promising to come on after sentencing, so I'm not gonna. I'll let him.
I know he's busy, and I don't want to screw with him while he's trying to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The law firm, and trying to keep Richard in line. I get it. I totally get it. So yeah, totally makes sense. New website. What else? Any new offices opening up? Anything else?
Yes.
What else? And lots of new lawyers. Are you hiring?
We're always probably hiring. So, what do you want to do? I usually put the dishes away. So if you want to do that, there's that. So we have an office in Austin and we have an office in the Fort Hood Clean area, but starting June 1, there'll be a new office in Taylor, Texas. Wesley West is opening that office, and it is in a growing suburb of Austin called Taylor, Texas. And so on June 1st, he'll be opening his doors so that people don't have to travel all the way into Austin if they want to get a consultation with Oconell West.
So, Laura, and one of the obstacles that we run into here is because this is an internet-based radio program, is we get people asking us all the time from all over the world, like, oh, hey, I'm in Rhode Island and I'm going through this Article 15 hearing. Can Oconell West help me out? Are you guys limited to treat cases in Texas? Are you able to help people out that are like in other states, Colorado, for example?
Absolutely.
Oh, cool. All right. Glad to hear that. Very glad.
I know Doug has traveled to help people, and if you can do it, we'll do it.
I like that.
I need that slogan.
Yeah, exactly. Should be a t-shirt. All right. Well, Lori, is there anything else you want to tell the listening audience before we kick you to the curb?
No, just come visit our website, and Ashley will be answering the phone, so we'll be waiting for the phone to ring off the wall tomorrow.
Have you ever talked to Ashley?
Or not?
She is cool like the other side of the pillow. She is far and away the coolest person in the office. I like her a lot.
Yes, true.
And she keeps them on some semblance of organization. But yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, Lori, I can't thank you enough for being a part of Matches. You are always welcome any Monday night that you are free and want to come on and represent the firm. Hey, what's a good number that they should call if they want to get the help of Oconell West?
Okay, now I have to put my glasses on because I don't have that memorized.
You'd think we've been doing this for years now. You'd think we would have it right here in front of us. We never do.
So it's 512-547-7265. That's 512-547-7265.
And you guys are active on the gram. I know you're active on Twitter, and you have a Facebook page. So are people allowed to reach out to you by way of social media platforms?
Absolutely.
Very cool. All right, cool. Lori,
thanks for having me, guys. Have a great night.
You as well.
You
Push this button here. And yeah. One of our favorite sponsors. Some of our other favorite sponsors. You want to talk about Thigh Huggers?
Well, I'm randomly not wearing them.
It's cold out and raining.
I will do the Thigh Huggers one because I put a huge order in.
Oh, what'd you get?
Like 4 days ago.
What'd you get?
They released a bunch of new really cool
I saw
stuff.
them.
I got a pair of the Street Fighter ones.
Of course you did.
I got some random stuff, but I definitely did. And what was great is I put in the code one shot, and I got a huge discount. And some of that discount money, I got all the discount, but then they donated to this amazing nonprofit out there just trying to help out some veterans.
What's the name of that nonprofit?
It would be About Face Media.
Yep. If you want to help put other veterans, you want to help them write their books, you want to help them make their movies, you want to help them put their radio shows on, by all means, go to Thigh Huggers, enter the code OneShot, and you'll be helping us out.
And you'll get some sexy shorts.
And you get some sweet ass shorts, man. We are also big fans of combat flip flops around here. If you enter the code About Face on checkout, you get a 30% discount. 15% of that comes back to us, and you're helping us to help the veterans write their books, make their movies, make their radio shows, whatever the case may be. It's a big deal. So yeah, Nicholas Hatchett Bernie is watching. Well, that's too bad.
Uh-oh.
You'd think we'd have
At
a
least
better.
he's watching and not like able to be audible.
You'd think we'd have a better crowd around here by now, but I guess it's not to be.
You are judged by the friends around you. Ugh.
All right, so it's about that time. Let's bring on Michael Connors because he's gonna do some shit in the next couple of days. Let's find out what it is that dude's got going on before we get out of here for the evening. Mike, how the heck are you, man?
I'm good, brother. How are you guys doing?
I'm better than I deserve, which is pretty darn good. So welcome.
That's all you can hope for.
Ashes on About Face. I saw you were in the green room a little bit. Did you hear that interview with Lori and with Brandi?
Absolutely, and I am very intrigued by both of them. This is a damn good show you boys are putting on tonight.
Oh, you're just a terrible judge of character, is all it is.
Well, we knew that. It's me.
Insulting our guests. We're never gonna get anybody back on.
Michael, we've had you on the show before to talk about Connors Canines, which is an outstanding organization. Tell us about that first before we get into the real reason that you're here.
All right, sounds good. So Connors Canine Paws is a 501c3 nonprofit. We train service animals custom for veterans and first responders. We also provide mental health resources for PTSD, TBI recovery, and later this year, we will start launching a recreational therapy option for veterans in Colorado to get out with other veterans and basically do stuff outside without having to, sit in a room and talk about it.
I like it.
I know a dog named Rambo that likes to run the neighborhood.
Actually,
Rambo has recently been incarcerated because of this after a brawl on a Saturday evening with a porcupine and a skunk. Are you able to help Rambo out at all?
We can absolutely fix Rambo, but it sounds like Rambo got the bad end of that fight.
Well, I didn't see any of the other. I didn't see what he fought. I just saw his out. Yeah. So I have livestock guard dogs. Since you're in the dog world, you kind of understand some of the things that they do, but they kind of one they cannot be penned. Okay, you can't. If they want out,
they're out.
They're out. Okay, and when they travel, they don't travel down the street. They travel like 10 fucking miles away. Mm-hmm. Well, mine were found about 10 miles away with fucking porcupine quills all over, sprayed with skunks. They couldn't get a hold of me quick enough, so they ended up in a shelter like 2 hours away from me, getting medical attention for the quills. It fucking dogs. I love the shit out of him.
I love that dog. He's my chief of security.
Yeah.
And no chicken is safe, or all chickens are safe in his presence.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for. He's doing his job.
Yeah. He's like over 150 pounds, stands as tall as me. And I just call him my baby boy because he's just like a sweet little, well, he's not little, but
he's not little.
Sweet.
I walked in there yesterday and he's like, hi.
Flops on his back, and then God forbid a fucking
sounds like my dogs.
Comes by and nuts.
So now that we've knocked all that out of the way,
what's this new thing?
What are you here for tonight?
So in 2 weeks, I will start walking for the PAWS third annual Ruck March for mental health, PTSD awareness, and suicide prevention in veterans. Well, every year this has increased.
Why do you do that?
I'm stupid, but I care.
Welcome
so, this has gotten bigger every year. This year it will be 105 miles I'm going to walk over the span of 4.5 days.
Dude, I don't like driving 105 miles. I get tired and have to stop. Why would you do that?
Ultimately, because we got to do what we got to do in order to keep our brothers and sisters above ground. And if me breaking my body one more time gets some awareness in the community and gets some people supporting, and allows us to continue fighting back and giving away our resources and getting more service dogs into the hands, then we're going to do whatever it takes to do that. So this year we'll go 105 miles, and then we will end that at 105 West Brewing Company in Castle Rock on the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. And we're going to turn it into a giant fundraiser where anyone who does show up, you're going to get to see us give away some dogs, as well as we've got some pretty sweet auctions and raffle stuff going as well.
Damn, son. When does this thing, when are you stepping off? When do you start walking?
I will start walking at 0600 on the 23rd. And I should hit my finish line at 1305 on Saturday the 27th.
That is ambitious. That is extremely ambitious.
It is easily the dumbest thing I've done in a minute, but it's for a good cause.
Let's say that all 3 people that are listening to the show right now want to donate $1. Where are you going to donate those $3?
So if they want to donate, they can go right to our website. It's just connorsk9paws.org. They can also donate that at the finish line if someone wants to attend, anything they want to do with that. The nice part of what we do as a nonprofit is no one makes a dime. Everything that comes along as far as donations goes right back out. We are shooting for $40,000 at this Ruck March finale in order to get 2 more veteran service dogs this year.
How close are you right now?
We're already over 20 and I haven't even started walking.
That's awesome. I love everything I just heard. So some of our listeners who clearly have no common sense whatsoever are asking, hey, can I walk with you? If someone wants to walk with you, is that an opportunity? And can they help you fundraise?
Yes, they can absolutely help fundraise. They can absolutely get involved. They can walk with us in certain stretches of this route. This route is going to take us all across the Denver metro. So we're going to start in Castle Rock, goes out to Franktown, Parker, Centennial. We're going to go up around the VA, Colfax, all the way through Denver to Golden, Red Rocks, Morrison, Littleton, Highlands Ranch, Castle Pines, and then back down to Castle Rock. There are going to be some stretches where we're going to encourage people to not, just for safety reasons, liability. I don't want to get sued if somebody gets clipped in Colfax. But we're absolutely going to let people jump in and join in for certain stretches, with the exception of the last 1 mile. Because the last 1 mile, we are going to have full police and fire escorts in, and we are going to shut down some significant areas of Castle Rock's busiest downtown areas. For that stretch, there is going to be a pace we have to maintain. So for that, we're asking that rather than people do that, you meet us at the finish line at the very end for that portion.
Very cool.
That is very cool.
I also love how when you're worried about people's safety on Colfax, the only thing you say was getting clipped. I feel like that's very low on my incident on Colfax.
That's not on my number 1 list of things that could happen to me on Colfax.
I wasn't exactly referring to a vehicle, if you boys know what I mean by that. But, it's Colfax. Denver's got their rules. I'm still going to be carrying on that stretch of this. I'm not stupid. We're going to do what we got to do to make sure we get this done. But ultimately, it's going to be a really cool experience for us to be able to get some help for some veterans. At the finale, we're going to give a service dog to a veteran. We're even going to give a therapy dog to Castle Rock Police Department. They'll get their new therapy dog for the mental health team that they've got going around. And then we're going to be able to turn this into a pretty big event for our veterans and first responders. Specifically, this will be our biggest event we've ever done. And we're looking forward to getting some assistance out as much as we can.
So you mentioned one of your great sponsors, 105 West Brewing.
Absolutely.
Castle Rock, we love that place. Mention some of your other sponsors if you have any others.
We have significant sponsors on that. With what we're looking to do this year is we've actually got it set up with different brackets. So one of the things we want to do is we want to give shout outs to those who have gone above and beyond in supporting us. So, Core 3 Drywall, Bank of America, the Eagle Riders of Castle Rock came in as a community sponsor this year. Hivis Graphics, they hooked us up. They wrapped my Jeep. They built us a custom pop-up tent for all of our events as a result for this as well. Capital Title, Bradley Real Estate, Heartland. Josh Henkels has been not only donating and supporting us, he's actually raising one of our service dogs, which that's more of a challenge than what anybody realizes, because we basically give you the coolest dog in the world and then say give it back to us a year later. You don't get to keep it, but it's going to help somebody else. And he's been killing it on that. There's so many that we can go through. Medical Man Cave, Stacked Food Truck will be at the finish line. They donate back a portion of their proceeds from the day every time we do this. 105 West has stepped up dramatically to the point where not only is you boys have been there, it's a busy spot anyway on the weekend. We're going to destroy them as far as capacity. We're projecting 300 plus people at the finale, to the point where we want to give a shout out to Wellspring here in town. They have recently purchased the old La Quinta hotel that's across the street from that area. And they've graciously donated us the entire parking lot as overflow, knowing that we're going to have this event be as big as it is.
Wow. Okay. And
Very cool.
In our little neighborhoods, look at us.
Maybe date day.
We're growing. We're growing.
Day.
Where you're headed.
I'm not walking.
No, fuck that, man. No, he can walk. I ain't walking shit, man.
I don't blame you.
Oh yeah, I'll do road guard on the motorcycle
with the best.
Hey, if you want to jump in and do stuff like that, we are projecting that we might get some motorcycles out there running in ahead of the police escort for the finish line. So it's going to be pretty cool as it comes in. We've got it set up with a certain map and route for the finish line where you're going to hear us coming from a long way away on this one. And on that, we'll be able to have live tracking of location for the entire 105 miles this year, which will be pretty cool, where you can see where we're at. Because whoever designed this route and put, going up Red Rocks on the middle of the third day and is an idiot, and it was me. But, we want to make sure we get as much sponsorship out there and community involvement, because ultimately the more people who know about this stuff, the more veterans who are going to get help about it. So we appreciate the opportunity to talk about it.
Give the deets one more time. Start. When does it end?
0600 on the 23rd is the start time from the Douglas County Fairgrounds. We are anticipating the finish line at 1305 or 105 for people who don't understand that, but 105 at 105. On Saturday, the 27th, we will have an actual finish line crossing. And it'll be a really cool experience on the 27th. For those who do want to attend it, we are recommending that you show up early. The event will run from 12 until 6 that day. But the earlier you show up, the more likely you are to have parking. Like I said, that overflow lot across the street, we will have police assistance to get people back and forth. But 27th is the biggest day of this. That's where everybody should try and get out there and be a part of the finale. That's the coolest moment. There will be a lot of crying and happy people when they come through, and you see what the veterans ultimately get when the dog is in their hand and they see the moment that their life has just changed.
Michael, you're a friend and I love you. And the biggest thing I can say is don't do this, man. Do not go walk 35 miles. Dude, can't you do a sleep-a-thon or something where you lay in bed for 105 hours or something? Don't do this.
I'll be honest with you, man. This is the longest one it's ever been. It's going to be the longest it ever is. We're already looking at ways to revamp this to get more people involved. So, 2024 might be a 22-mile ruck march for 22 a day, and its veterans can do that, and anybody else can run a 5K. We're looking at different options to get more people out there and involved, and not just showing up to the finale and supporting, but get them out there and physically see what it's like. But as far as the 105, I don't know why I agreed to this, but it's honestly for a good cause. So we're going to make it happen.
Anytime I'm possessed with the urge to go for a walk, I have a beer and lay down on the couch, and that urge completely goes away. It's perfect, man.
Well, I have the urge to show up to 105 and not have an empty glass for the rest of the afternoon. So it'll be just fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with Michael Connors, a very good friend of ours, very good friend of the show. I have no idea why, but this ass is going to step off on May 23rd at 06 from the Douglas County Fairgrounds. Cheer him on. Throw all of your extra money at him. He needs it. He's doing it for a good cause. And anything else, Mike?
That's it, boys. I appreciate the opportunity and love seeing you. Love hearing it, and awesome to talk to you again.
Hey man, try to find some better radio shows to get on, because you're getting dragged down right now.
No, we're doing good. This is where I want to be. This is the home show, so this is where I gotta be.
It's great talking to you, bud.
You too.
Good luck.
Michael.
Bye.
Later, boys.
Oh man, 105.
Fuck God.
So my
fuck
first year
that.
in the army, this I'm not gonna say just regular old infantry unit in Hawaii, 235 cacti. They have this really cool thing that they do once a year, where you do 2 35-mile road marches back to back. So it's 35 one day, 2 days, 35.
Oh.
So 35 to 35.
Oh,
And it's in the Kahukas. So it's just straight fucking
up and down.
and slippery ass clay.
I did 25 once for I think it was a spur ride, but I don't remember. I did like 24 point something for some event. I forget what it was, and I never want to do that again.
Spurs?
Oh yeah.
I don't see your Spurs.
I
got mine.
But you got your Spurs. That's
Not even know to do that shit.
I wonder, dude. We need to talk to Griff from Combat Flip Flops and find out if we can get some Spurs for our flippity floppities. Because I'd wear the shit out of those things. That's an awesome idea.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the safety brief first, or should I talk about who I want us to remember?
I think we should do Never Forgotten, and then we always close out. The final thing's the safety brief.
Okay, cool.
And then POV inspection.
POV inspections.
And then the reminder of the safety brief.
That's exactly right. Well, and I'd like to caveat off of what the first sergeant said.
And then the discussion in your room with your team leader.
And you better have your documentation done.
Well,
Hey, so today is 8 May. On the 9th of May, 2003, my team got launched from Tikrit, Iraq. And we got launched to Samarra, Iraq, to pick up a little Iraqi girl who had stepped on a landmine. We're doing some like peace mission. Like, hey, we're going to, go get this little girl and we're going to bring her to an American hospital and make her feel better. So we go to Samarra, Iraq, and we start getting shot at. And so the other crew dives for the river, and they hit a cable that was across the river. And so they crashed into the river, and it was pretty bad. It was really bad. The only person that survived the crash was a very good friend of mine named James Sides. So tomorrow will be the 20-year anniversary of the loss of aircraft 488. So please remember the names: Brian Van Dusen, Hans Gukeisen, and Sergeant Richard Combat Carl. Tomorrow, when you say your prayers to your family, please remember those three names. I'll be getting together with my 571st brethren. We'll be having a cup of really shitty coffee out of a canteen cup to kind of remember them by. And keep their thoughts, their names, and their families' names in your minds tomorrow as the 20-year anniversary approaches of our loss of that crew. And remember my buddy James Sides, who made it out of that crash and is doing well. James, we love you, and we're glad you're doing well. Remember those names. Safety brief. Let's talk about the safety brief as we get ready to close out our show. We're actually a little bit late, as a matter of fact, but that's okay because there's always time for safety. It's very important. Did you want to start us off?
Your car's only as good as the shoes on its feet.
Ooh, that is a good.
That goes.
I love how you always
too.
You must have been an excellent NCO because you always managed to word like 2 or 3 different things in there. I love how you always manage to make that happen. So, going off of my hetero life mate's suggestion for the safety brief, I'm going to say always wear a helmet. And I'll let you interpret that however you so choose to. You got anything else? Yeah, it is.
I can always do one.
We can go for hours on this one.
Make sure that whatever you are, and whatever you say you are, as you're in your military career, is validated from reality and on your GD-214. Otherwise, somebody might kick your fucking ass. Just saying.
Every show. Make sure your DD-214 matches what you say your service was. I like what you did there. It's very important. You never know when you might get called on that. You might hear footsteps behind you. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to From the Ashes on About Face Media. We love your support. Please feel free to go to the website and make a donation. You are allowing other DJs to write books, make movies, get on the radio and talk to you about all this cool stuff. Thanks to our friends from WTF Radio for your huge support, Warriors Next Adventure for your support, Combat Flip Flops, and of course, everybody loves Thigh Huggers. So thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Got anything else before we cut all these people loose?
That's it. Thanks, guys. See you next week for another great show.